Dear sweet friends, your host Shurma here. A very big hello and a warm welcome to all of you. I'm so glad you chose to stop by. I have an awesome tutorial to share with you today. Let's learn to paint a pretty peony. The materials needed for today's project are all listed over here. So let's begin with the first chapter, that is creating the background for the painting. For starters, I have three elements with me. The first is the pink card base. It is a side folding card, as you can see, and it is around 4 inches by 5.8 inches in size. The next element is a black cardstock. It is just slightly short as compared to the pink card base, and the measurements are 3.6 inches by 5.4 inches. The third element is a white watercolor piece of paper that is around 3.5 inches by 4.2 inches. In the next step, I grab the white watercolor piece and pink liquid watercolor bottle, and I lay the white watercolor piece on an absorbent piece of paper. Next, I drop some pink watercolor on the paper and I spray it with water to spread the color. Once I'm happy with the look, I leave it to dry. So this forms the background for today's painting. That leads us to chapter number 2, that is painting the pretty peony. Now before I go ahead and create the peony, I have just printed some musical notes on the pink watercolor paper. So here is the palette for the painting. I have mauve, medium magenta, deep magenta acrylic color and white acrylic color. And here is a flat brush number 6, which I am loading with medium magenta and mauve and a bit of white acrylic. So this is 3 colors on my flat brush number 6, and I need to blend the colors well for good results. So this is multiple loading of the brush. Next, I go ahead and pick up my flat brush number 4, and I have dipped it in deep magenta and medium magenta, and I'm just creating a very loose form of the peony. I go ahead and add more of deep magenta at the center. Next, I pick up my flat brush number 6, and it is loaded with mauve, medium magenta and white. And I start creating the first layer of the petals of the pretty peony. The technique which I am using here is a decorative stroke painting, and I am using multiple colors on my brush, and that helps me to create highlights as well as shading with just one stroke of the brush. So here is the pretty peony in the making. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the earth laughs and flowers. And I totally believe in that. And the pretty peony happens to be one such amazing flower which can bring a smile to just anybody's face. A peony is essentially a flowering plant and are native to Asia, Europe, and North America. They look fabulous and stand the test of time. A peony represents wealth and honor. At this point, I have introduced another color, that is the permanent rose acrylic color. So as I was telling you, A peony is regarded as the omen of good fortune, and it also embodies romance and love. Isaac Mizrahi said, and I quote, "I equate peonies with love because they are the first blooms of summer." A peony is so lush and full, there is no need to mix them with other types of flowers to create a big, bold bouquet. So, when in doubt, add peonies. Now, peonies are not just beautiful, they are tough, durable, fragrant, and they are long-lasting perennials, living 100 years or more. So, it is rightly said that a rose is a rose, but a peony is a friend forever. So at this point, I have 4 colors on my brush. That is mauve, medium magenta, permanent rose and white. The proportion of the colors keep changing as I'm painting. So there is a lot of difference between the color of the petals, though may not be very much visible to you at this point, but I can observe that it helps to make a huge difference to the painting. Well, at this point I'm trying to create the larger petals, which are almost falling over each other, and these are the outer petals of the peony. The petals in a peony flower are very crowded together, and the flower itself is quite large. Whenever I need to add some highlight to the petals, I go ahead and add more of white to the mix. Here I'm trying to fix the outer petals and check the proportionality as compared to the rest of the petals. And that, what you just saw, was the retarding medium, and that helps to slide the brush from one point to the other. But in case you need bold highlights, please do not use the retarding medium. At this point, I have picked up my filbert brush and I have more of white acrylic and very less mauve on it, and I'm just trying to create the little folds on the petals. Adding these twists and turns to the petals actually helps to bring the flower to life. Don't you think so? I think it's looking quite pretty at this point of time, and I'm quite happy with the results. Do you agree with me? Do let me know in the comment box below. Well, the flower painting looks good enough to me. So let's paint some leaves now. Here is the palette for the greenery. I have sap green, olive green, bamboo green, yellow and white acrylic, and I have a flat brush number 6 in hand and I'm loading it with sap green, white acrylic and a bit of bamboo green. So that is 3 colors on my flat brush number 6. We can make other combinations as well, and you will see in a bit. Now next I go ahead and pick up my liner brush, and I have sap green and a bit of olive green on it, and I'm just painting around the edges of the peony flower. When I wish to spread the color, I use the acrylic retarding medium. Now this exercise helps me to bring the peony painting to the foreground. Here I've gone ahead and added a bit of yellow and bamboo green. More of olive green at those deep corners. Time for the leaves now. So here I have my flat brush number 6 with sap green, bamboo green and white on it, and I'm creating the beautiful decorative style of leaves. Do you like these leaves as well? Do you feel they are pretty? If you would like to know more about this kind of technique, then I would definitely encourage you to check out my past videos, and I would be very happy to drop some of the links in the description box below. My older tutorials will give you a fair idea of this particular decorative type of stroke painting. In the next step, I create some stems with the same flat brush number 6, and I'm just using the chisel end of the brush to create those stems. In the next step, I create some very thin leaves with the help of the same flat brush number 6 and the same set of colors, and sometimes I go ahead and add more of bamboo green to make the leaves lighter. So these are some leaf clusters on top of the peony. It's time for the flower center. So next I go ahead and pick up my liner brush, and I have yellow acrylic on it, and I'm trying to create the center of the flower. I've also gone ahead and added a bit of white to the yellow to make it more interesting, and then I will add a bit of deep magenta to create some dark spots. Next, I go ahead and add some very tiny mauve flowers with the help of a liner brush to those leaf clusters. And that completes the panel. It's time to assemble the card. So let's see what are the elements which I have with me right now. The first is a pink card base. The second one is the black cardstock. Third is the painted panel. Now when I put together all of these, this is how it looks. I also went ahead and added the hello sentiment on the top left hand corner of the card, and I rounded off with a purple satin bow. So friends, that's a wrap on today's project. Hope you had fun watching me create the Pretty Peony in the decorative style on a pink note card. Do follow me on my social media handles, and I would be very happy to be in touch with you. Also, thank you all for your incredible support, for all the comments you leave me, and I thoroughly enjoy reading them as well. By supporting my channel, you help my ideas to reach a wider audience, which means a whole lot to me. And again, thank you very much for being so patient and staying with me till the end. Here are some of my past floral painting tutorials. You might like them. So please stay tuned, and I will be back very soon. Do take care of yourself, and bye-bye.